All right, so I have with me a DCA Corina, and it's currently being run off a Stax T8000, so it's the big boy flagship amplifier that they have here. This headphone, I think I've heard it a couple of times before, but I really haven't paid too much attention to it except now. And I gotta say, I really do quite like this headphone. I think the tuning of this is what I'd call pretty restrained, actually. So it doesn't have an extra forward mid-range. It doesn't have a big bass boost or anything like that. It is definitely a bit more of a restrained, very sort of mature sort of sound here. The treble is a little bit pulled down a little bit, controlled. So, I was listening to Billie Jean with Michael Jackson. Obviously, it comes into those really sharp transients at the start. And those are, you do hear them, but they are, toned down a little. What I find really nice about this headphone is that it does have quite a lot of punch to the bass. It is an electrostatic headphone. So sometimes there's a preconception that it doesn't really have that energy. But here it definitely does. You have a lot of punch, especially in the mid-bass region where you get that dynamic oomph to it. However, that sub-bass region, that step, decay, the rumble, it's a linear bass extension, so you don't get the really big sort of shelf there. It's present, but you don't hear it in the way you would some other headphones necessarily, especially some of those closed-back headphones, which are tuned in that way, or even compared to IEMs. The mid-range, like I said, is a little restrained. So if you want something that's really lively, really forward, you won't get that here. Like I said, I was listening to Michael Jackson. His vocals felt a little bit pulled back. But it does, where this works extremely well on is for some of those ballady type of music. So I was listening to The Carpenters' They Long to Be. Sounds absolutely amazing on this. The other thing I'll say is that the soundstage on this isn't the biggest. It definitely is a little bit constrained to the head. There is depth to it, but it is a bit of a shallow depth. The imaging isn't too bad though. I do feel it, left to right. The stereo width is good. And in some of these tracks, I think it was Beat It. There's a note that kind of goes around the back of your head a little bit. So that is nice, but I wish the staging was a little bit more open on this headphone. But otherwise, as a flagship electrostatic from DCA, I really do quite like the tuning on this. I think it might be my favorite DCA headphone.